Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody is having a good week thus far. We're going to be looking at some Ren and Stimpy comics today. I got a little bit of a haul, and then I got to get back to the drawing board. Yeah, I hope everybody is, like I said, having a good week. I pulled 3 issues of Ren and Stimpy, so we're going to be looking at 10, 16, and 19, just 3 random issues. I have a bunch of them. I probably have like 40 or so issues of these, and I've only done 2 Ren and Stimpy videos. And I usually do like 2 or 3 issues at a time, so we got plenty to go through yet. And then I will have my small haul. Got a couple of hardcover books, and then just some single issue stuff. So we're going to be taking a look at that, and then, like I said, we'll cut it out, and then I will hit the drawing board here again. I have 21 pages of the comic done, including the cover, to 22 pages. There's about 26 pages total that I have to draw, so only got to do like about 5 more than that first issue is finished. Get it scanned in, and then get it prepped, because I'm probably going to be taking it to Kickstarter. So probably around like the first week of September, I'm probably going to start kind of like put the cover out there and just kind of tell people, hey, look out for it. It's going to be on Kickstarter, here in about 30 days or so. And then I'm hoping to get it launched towards like the tail end of September into early October is kind of what I'm hoping for, and then having it run from like October to November-ish time frame, and then roll out the comics to everybody in like December, start mailing them out and everything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna add some goodies in terms of add-ons. I have a bunch of stuff that I've yet to see other Kickstarters do, so I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that catches on. And yeah, so that's probably going to be the next thing, and then there will be a 3rd anthology issue that will be out. That run through will be from October to November probably, and then the comic itself will probably be out like mid-November, which I'm kind of hoping for like a late fall book. So gonna have a really busy fall. I'm gonna do another Ken Stein story probably in the anthology, so I'm gonna have another 6 to 10 pages to draw there. So total this year I've drawn like 60 pages worth of comics, which is kind of nuts. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be taking a look at. But first things first, as always, gotta do our housekeeping here. So as always, I do have the store here on the site. You just go in here and you just kind of select what you want, hit the little contact thing, fill out the form, and then just let me know, and then I'll ship it out to you. Second anthology is pretty fresh still, so that's what I would ultimately recommend to pick up. I think that the second issue turned out way better than the first one, just not only for design but for the actual printing quality as well, just like the paper and everything like that was used on the inside. I think is way better because it's uncoated newspaper stock, so I think it just holds up better in terms of the aesthetic that we're trying to go for there. But yeah, it's about 2 weeks old now at this point, week and a half, so feel free to hit me up or any of the artists that were in the book, and we'd be happy to get you a copy of that. If you are a West Coast Dave fan, he's going to have it not next week but the week after. I shipped some books out to him, so then he'll have those readily available to sell. And then, like I was saying earlier, I'm going to be at Eddie Pecan in Pittsburgh. I'll be there both days, the 13th and the 14th. So stop by, pick up some books from me. I'm going to have a bunch of stuff available there that I'm not going to have on my website until after the fact. Because I'm pretty much like launching everything there for the most part. So I'm going to have t-shirts and some other fun things, and then eventually I'll have that stuff up on my website for everybody else to acquire. And of course, you want to support me and what I do here, there's a little QR link to send me some tips. And then as well, if you did not see, just pull this up here. The first time I had seen something out in the wild. Let's go ahead and pull this up. In case you didn't see it, but yeah, I had gone to a comic shop like 45 minutes away from where I live, and walked in, and issues were already sitting there. You know, John, he's in both books, and he's done design work for me for the book that's going to be coming out here towards the end of the fall. He had the hookup here at this shop, so highly appreciate that. So I'm gonna keep slinging the stuff there. All right. So we have the usual gang of suspects on these issues. They're Mike Kazzala. I'm pretty sure all of these issues has the same team on it. 16 looks like it's a separate team. But for the most part, though, it's always going to be like Ed Lazzari, Mike Kazzala, going to kind of be the creative teams on these issues. Dan Slott's a pretty popular one as well for the writing. Before we started, yeah, his cartooning is just really good, and just even with like the lack of backgrounds, I think the coloring really helps the issues. So this is something that they advertise over and over again in these Ren and Stimpy comics, is this dumbass Dragon Strike game. Like, it's kind of asinine, actually, because I'm pretty sure that there's like a full like 2-page spread in the back. Oh yeah. Once we get to that, Dad, it's something else. Got some edgy ass kids. Holy moly! Like, they were fucking paying for ad space in this. They really were trying to get kids to fucking buy that, weren't they? Yeah, Mike Kazzala's cartooning is just so good, man. I know that him and Don Simpson kind of run in circles together, and you definitely can see that sort of cartooniness coming from both those camps. I think it makes a lot of sense that they're you know, buddy together. Just selling some bug juice to people. So Ken Matroni had done the art in this one, and I want to say, is he the... He had done art somewhere else, maybe one of the other issues that I have sitting over here. It's where I had seen it, but I mean, he's done other ones before as well. And I want to say that maybe I've seen him on like fill-ins on Punisher, possibly. But you definitely can tell it's not Mike Kazzala, especially in Ren. Mike Kazzala came from the Archie Turtle space. That's what he was doing prior to this, I believe. So when you look at his turtle issues that he had done for Archie, you can really tell in the eyes, especially. I mean, this isn't him, but I'm just saying in general, his eyes really sticks out. You're like, oh, it looks like a Turtles comic. Okay, so this ad, like, look how fucking edgy these kids are. Like, they were paying up for ad space. Like, they have like 10 different ads in there, and then a double page spread forward out at the end. They're paying up. Wonder if it paid off for them. Alright, now we're going to be moving to 16. And this is something that illustrators used to get paid for all the time, is doing these kinds of ads. They're, yeah, so Ken Maturini was the artist in this issue. Pretty sure is it's still the, yep, same colorist. Yeah, he's a good colorist. I really like his highlights, and then you have to imagine too that this was, you know, prime digital age, so digital coloring was pretty questionable at the time, and I think they did a pretty good job with still making it look cartoony, but not, you know, have that over digital look that a lot of the things had at the time. Great cartooning there. Supposed to be like, what was it, Graceland? Wow, yeah, Grossland, of course. Perspective is a little fucked up on that one. Street Fighter 2 on Genesis. Only on Genesis, it says. Special Champion Edition? I mean, didn't Champion Edition come to Super Nintendo at one point, or was it just Turbo? Pretty great cartooning there, it's a good shot. It's fucking Tech World, William Shatner. Dude's low-key kind of an idiot. I remember a couple years ago he was pitching like how motion comics are like going to be this groundbreaking thing. He's like, not only is it a video, but it's a comic. And it's like, yeah, it's a motion comic, dude, and they've been making these for like the past 15, 20 years. What you're doing is not groundbreaking. I can't remember what the name of that comic was that he had put out. Motion comic or whatever. Terrible though. Alright, so this is going to be the last one we're going to be looking at. Mine's a little beat up there, but it's all good. So this is something that I really appreciate about these Ren and Stimpy comics, that they do these special issues where they will change the art style, or they'll change like the subject matter. The Multi-Stimpy is one that I point to all the time, to where that's like a black and white noir comic, and it reads, you know, like a Sin City almost. And like this, how it says it's the minimalist comic, so they are, you know, stripping away basically everything, and it just comes down to just nothing but lettering basically. It's a pretty cool concept that they run with this stuff. And then in future episodes or future issues, they do get into the wrestling stuff, and this dude's one of the main characters in it. This is also something that's pretty interesting that the Ren and Stimpy's comics do, how they always have these interactive panels inside of them. So that's something to watch out for when you are collecting these, especially there was one, it's called the interactive special, and basically from front to back it's nothing but that stuff. So it's crosswords, making paper airplanes, all that kind of stuff. So if you do see them out in the wild, make sure that you're opening up and looking inside of them, because a lot of these books do have those activities in them. So you can see, you know, pages being ripped out or being drawn on already, so on and so forth. I've only seen that in one of my comics. I've been pretty lucky, but I also know to actually look at them before I buy them. So that's just a little tip for you guys if you are ever going to start collecting these Ren and Stimpy issues. And I highly recommend to do so because the cartooning in them is fantastic. And just the stuff that you like I said, like these activities and whatnot, and how they change the art style from issue to issue is also really cool. Just outside the box thinking, even though they are, you know, quote unquote kids comics, they actually put more effort into them than other kids comics. I think that in the 90s, kids comics had really grown a lot, because when you think about, you know, comics from 50s, 60s, and the 70s, your Charltons, your Gold Keys, and all that kind of stuff, your more family-friendly kid comics, those definitely catered to kids, so they were dumbed down a lot, as opposed to like the 90s Marvel stuff, so your Beavis and Buttheads, your Ren and Stimpies. Those actually have a lot more personality, and the you know, the creators were able to put a little more into them than them being so cut and paste. Cool beans, yeah, man. I remember this campaign that they were running back in the day. Miss this old Laffy Taffy, that was the good shit. Alright. Just gonna grab some other stuff here. Okay, so I'm gonna start taking a look at the haul here a little bit. I just got a couple of books. I don't know, there's like 6, 7 books here to kind of show off. So this is the first thing that I wanted to show. So if you're not familiar with who Johnny Ryan is, he's underground cartoonist is what I've categorized him as. I finished reading this last night, and this book is batshit crazy. Obviously, I'm a big fan of underground comics. I would probably categorize myself as such, and things that you see in like R. Crumb and everything like that is pretty tame. Put that into perspective than what's in here. There's some stuff that happens in this book, it's especially towards like the middle to the end, that's pretty wild. And even myself, I was sitting and I was looking at it, and I was just kind of like, felt, you know, dirty reading it, and wanted to take a shower afterwards. And some of this stuff we might be able to show, but yes, it gets absolutely wild though. And the interesting thing is, yeah, see, like that right there is just crazy. Interesting thing though is the entire comic is all, what is this, 9 panels, 12 panel pages, the entire thing, and I think there's only like 2 splash pages out of all of it. But yeah, this is just an example. Like, this whole book is basically kind of like a commentary on American police work. So this police officer basically just has zero chill and just goes from 100. He doesn't even start at 0. He's just always at 100. So it's like this kid is just, you know, doing some graffiti or whatever on this gravestone. Cop shows up, beats the kid's ass, and literally pulls his entrails out of his ass. So that's the kind of stuff that you're getting into in this book. And like I said, this is tame compared to the rest of this book. Like I said, the stuff that's towards like the last 3/4 to the end of the book is pretty wild. Yeah, just, I'm not even gonna bother showing the rest of this. But if you're into underground stuff, Johnny Ryan's one of my favorites, and this is a batshit crazy book. So I do what you will with that information. And if you're here watching my stuff, I'm sure you're into the same stuff that I'm into. Recommend Fat Cop. Johnny Ryan's also done books like Porn Basket is a pretty popular one that he had done that I'm a big fan of. All right. We have 4 women. So I'm not going to open this up and take a look at it because there's 4 different issues, but this is Sam Keith. I actually have not read this before, so this is something that I have to crack open and check out. I had gone over to a comic book shop down in Oshkosh over the past weekend, and they, you know, have full runs kind of collected together. This is only a 5-issue run. I love Sam Keith. Who doesn't love Sam Keith? So I thought it was kind of interesting to see him do more of like a slice of life style comic rather than, you know, the Max or Wolverine or whatever. And of course, Hip Hop Family Tree #1. I have all of this in like trades, and then intermittently I'm just like finding issues just kind of randomly out in the wild. I was still missing #1, but I have a majority of the other ones that they had released. So finally got my hands on one of these. And with the Pitchfork comics, man, like Hip Hop Family Tree and Red Room, those are going up and up in prices as time has gone on. It's like I saw a Red Room comic for like $20 the other day, which is kind of nuts. Wasn't even a special cover or anything, just a normal issue. And as you guys know, I'm on that Punisher Warzone train. I read Punisher Warzone #1, instantly got hooked on it actually. I think that the Punisher Warzone series, that #1 book is probably one of my favorite #1 books, if not my favorite #1 book, because it has like everything in there that you'd want from a Punisher comic, and then it helps set up, you know, the next issues. And plus, like, you got JR on pencils, and then you got Klaus Janson on inks. It's like, come on, right? Can't fucking go wrong there. And I think Chuck Dixon is the writer on these, and you know he's one of the classic Punisher guys, so cannot go wrong. But yeah, dude, just like 90s Romita with Klaus, it's like, sign me the fuck up for this. I'm missing #4, so I got 1, 2, 3, and 5. So whenever I do hunt down a #4, I'll be able to, you know, piece up together at least the first 5, because I think that John Romita Jr. and Klaus, I think they were only attached for the first 5 issues, and then they kind of had people fill in after that. And then I know like 31 through 36 or 37, that is a whole Joe Kubert thing, so he's doing all of it. And so if you want like and that they put that into its own like little, you know, 5-book mini series that has its own name. I can't remember what it is right now. But if you want to see Joe Kubert do some Punisher, which is kind of strange in its own right, badass, man. Love me some Joe Kubert. So Punisher Warzone, Brand 5. And then through Quality Comics, I did end up picking up #3, The Law of Dread. So these Quality Comics, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that they were the first company that brought over Judge Dredd to America. I don't think it was Eagle Comics. That I might have that flip flop. I'm pretty sure Quality Comics was the first one, and then it was Eagle Comics. So these Quality Comics ones, you rarely see out in the wild, and when you do see them, you don't have to pay a lot. But they're just hard to find. They're not expensive. They're just rare. So when you do see them, I snatch them up. And then this is like one of the all-time covers, you know, for Dredd. So this is classic stuff. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen this before. This cover, good shit. And then I was able to snag myself some Love and Rockets. Love the Hernandez Bros. I've been reading Love and Rockets now for probably about a year and a half, and I've just been slowly getting everything. So I have like 1 through 19, I think, and I'm only missing 16, which I just picked up from Dave at West Coast Avengers a couple days ago, about a week or so ago. Reached out to him, asked him if he had a 16, and he does. The reasoning why I want a 16, besides the fact that I don't have it, is number 16 has a lot of wrestling stuff in it, and I have Zahaime's book, Queen of the Ring. I think it was Jaime. Yeah, Queen of the Ring, where it's just a bunch of like the illustrations, the sketches, and everything like that from all of his wrestling stuff, kind of condensed down into a book. But they're not like the full stories. They're just, like I said, like more process pages and everything like that. So number 16 is kind of one of those key issues that has a lot of wrestling in it, and I'm a big wrestling guy, so have to get that. But yeah, finally getting around to getting more Love and Rockets. They are hard as hell to find around here, so you kind of have to go to the bigger cities to actually get Fantagraphics books in general. To be honest with you, so not really so much in this area, but you gotta travel to get them. So when I do find them, I snatch them up. And I think that's pretty much all I have, because the rest of everything else we've already had looked at. Is what I can show you guys real quick, I guess. I had done some more sketches. So these, I sell for $2 a piece up on my site. They're just little sketchbooks. It got some drawings and whatnot in here, just from, I think, like, I went through 2 of my sketchbooks and had people pick out their favorite sketches or drawings out of there, and I just kind of slapped them in here just for some cheap thing to sell. And then I do an original art piece on the back, and they're more just sketches. Some of them, like this guy, it's like a little Donkey Kong. And I did a Slimer, little Pikachu. So they're just little things that I will doodle or draw on for practice, and then plus people get that incentive for some art. I printed 75 of these, and I think I've sold like 15 or 20 of them. Like I said, they're just cheap things, and then typically if people like buy stuff from me in general, so that they buy just like a straight up comic, or they buy like a commission or whatever, like usually I'll throw one of those in there. They were relatively low cost for me to print, and then plus it just gives something for somebody to look at, and it's got a fat QR code on the back so they can follow me wherever I be. With that being said, like I said, it's gonna be a short one today, so probably gonna wrap it up here. I got a lot of shit I gotta take care of. So with that being said, next week I don't know if there's gonna be just a standard video. It's a possibility. If I do make one, it's honestly probably just going to be comic book related. I might record some stuff because I'm gonna go over to the comic shop on Saturday and dig around some and see what I can find there. So I might take my camera with me and do another run through of the comic shop, and actually do like a tour, because the last time when I went in there I had a bunch of sound issues, because it was actually not only was it busy, but he was playing a movie when I walked in, and it just keeps getting fucking blocked. Then I'll go in and make edits to it, and it just gets blocked. So if you guys have seen it, to where it's like there's a video that I have, and it's called like hunting comics locally or whatever it is, and I keep having to put it in a private, open it, go into YouTube Studio, edit out the parts where all that is, and it just got chopped up to the point to where I'm like, fuck it, I don't even care, so I just left it up. At that point, just took the strike on it. Yeah, so hopefully when I go in there on Saturday, there isn't any music or movies or anything like that are playing, so that way I can just kind of have free reign to do what I want. But last time I went in there, he had like so many key issues, like early Kirby stuff, like the Lee Kirby Silver Surfer stuff, like early stuff, like we're talking $400-$500 issues. So if he still has that stuff, I'll be sure to kind of show it off, just because I'm pretty sure that he recently acquired a collection. So a bunch of old Kirby stuff. So I'll show that off. I'm going to be buying it, obviously, but I think it's just interesting because it's not something that everybody gets to see in person every day. So I will be sure to record some of that when I do stop over there. But yeah, like I said, I got to get cranking over to my actual drawing board here and start making some progress on my pages. I'm going to have the third anthology, that's going to be out probably towards the tail end of November, and then my creator-owned book, which is going to be a mini-series, that's probably going to be 4 issues. The first issue I'm going to be launching onto Kickstarter, and that's probably going to be like the beginning of October, and then run that probably through like November-ish time frame is kind of what I'm hoping. I have 21 of like the 24 pages of the first issue done, and then I got to get those scanned in, touch them up, and then as well I decided that I'm going to do some digital, at least all of the speech bubble stuff is all going to be digital this go around to save me a lot of time. And then I got to get all the add-ons and everything like that put together for the campaign, and then I'm going to get it up and pre-launch it. So that will be a lot of fun to do and see how that goes. And probably like the first week of September, second week of September, I'll show off, you know, like the actual cover itself, because I already have that done and edited and everything like that. I'm just kind of like waiting to announce everything, and then roll into the Kickstarter, kind of, you know, get people to know like, hey, like there's going to be one coming out soon, so that way when it's up, people are aware that it's coming. So that's going to be the plan. So I'm going to go ahead, hit the pages here, crank out another one, and then I'm going to be pretty much done drawing this thing by the end of next week. So I'm pretty much right on time to where I want to be, because I wanted to have the thing basically completely done by Eddie Pecan, and I think I'm going to hit that goal because we got about another 5 weeks to go, and I only have about I get about a page a day done, and I have about, like I said, 5 pages or so to do, scan those in, and then as well, you know, design the book, writing a foreword, and all that kind of stuff. And then acquiring the variant covers and the pinups and everything like that people are going to be doing for me. So I do have a bunch of people lined up to, you know, to put in bonuses and everything like that for the book. So it's going to be a good time, man. So yeah, like I said, I will probably record some stuff at the local comic shop this weekend, and that will probably be the video that I work on next week and have that up. So we'll do a little hunting video. But until then, like I said, this was going to be a shorter stream because I just got so much stuff I gotta get done, and more than likely the streams pretty much up until maybe the end of Eddie Pecan, maybe even afterwards, are probably only going to be 30 to 45 minutes a piece. Again, I'm just super busy trying to get this comic book stuff done. I launched an LLC, if I could speak English, so getting all my business matters and everything like that into, you know, into order, and then I can come back to the old YouTube game and hit it a little harder than usual. But yeah, I'm kind of in the you know, the hot seat right now to get stuff done when it comes to, got to finish my own comic, and we got another anthology coming. So and then I do all of that work myself, so I'm a busy boy making comics. I'm gonna have 5 releases this year, which is like fucking nuts actually. So support your boy, head over to my website, and yeah, like I said, thanks for where I'm gonna call it, and I'll see everybody next week. Peace. Hope everybody has a good week.